What's up, guys? Welcome to Dahi Raids. We're looking at the Hydra runs for this week and my teams. So just so as you know, there will be chapters inserted in the video here. So just look at the parts that are relevant to you for the normal, hard and nightmare teams that you want to see. Also, I'll have some of the battles running up here just above me. So take what you need from the video and I will see you in the next one. Yes, this is the results of the Hydra clash, and this is how we done 70 billion, which I think is one of our bigger scores as well. And actually, never mind the 70 billion, what we're most proud of in the clan is that we got 73 keys used, and I think participation is key, no pun intended, because just getting the keys used is the difference between first, second and third a lot of the time. For sure, we can see we have some absolutely huge hitters here. Shout out to our clan leader, Sister Karen, Triumda, Maddie, Rusted Shank, Fuseface, I'm always going to call him Fuseface on mic, Zora Dentist, loads of people over the billion there. Myself just shy of it, and that was due to a bit of a time crunch this week, so I didn't get the time to put into manual everything, but week on week my target is to be able to consistently get the grid filled out, as in the progressive toolbar, the progress bar, and get that filled out every week and get the high, like obviously maximum chest, use all 3 keys, and that's basically what everybody should be aiming for, to get as much of that progress bar filled out. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing multiple billions or whatever, but get as much as you can of that progress bar, and that should be your aim week on week, because it's accessible to everybody now, and it makes such a difference when you have those accessory pieces available to you. It's huge. It really makes a difference, especially to things like speed in your builds, and also having the protection accessories, having a 9-piece and that damage boost that you get from having a 9-piece, and the buffs that wearer places on the rest of your team, especially on a Trunda team, that's huge for the entire team, and it catapults teams from doing a billion to doing multiple billions. It makes that much of a difference. It is one of the big factors. So with my teams here, I actually skipped Brutal, and again that was time crunch, but my Nightmare team is focused around Whisper, so she was getting 34 million there, but everybody pitching in across the board, and I think some of these probably need to be changed to War Master, and that would give me a much better overall result. Shamail there especially, I don't think he's actually got masteries, but I have him in Guardian set for a bit more survivability. Lazarius is pretty much in support the whole way, and Krisk, the amount of hits he lands, he should be up there with Necmo for damage as well. Necmo obviously isn't built for damage. So that's the overall team, and we'll look at the stats of those guys in a bit. And then normal, this is a full auto, absolutely set and forget, just leave this running and it will do massive damage for you. It'll do over 100 million even without the Razzlevarg empowered and all that, the rest of that. But very good Razzlevarg in the lead, doing 202 damage. There is a school of thought where you could put one of the others. If you instead on this team had, so if you took Lydia out and Neutrala out, you could run it with Eastrid and Michinaki, and that would give you decreased defense and weaken, and your hex and your buff strip and everything that these do, and Eastrid will also provide the increased attack for Razzlevarg, so you could put your speed booster in the front. And actually, now that I'm saying all of this, I think that's what I might do next week, because that will increase the speed of the entire team, and that could be the way for me to go. So that'll be something to look out for. I'll probably improve on this score next week. And then finally, we have the hard team, which is usually a brutal team, but this again, time was against me, so I just had to get as much as I could in quickly, and it was one and done. But Blade Master really shines on a team where you have your decreased defense and weaken and HP burn, so very good team. Normally I'd have a Shamail in here, but I decided to go with Lilitu because Chimesia and Blade Master especially are just made of absolute paper. They're not even glass cannons, they're paper cannons. That's how fragile they are. So yeah, I put in Lilitu for the what do you call it? The perfect veil to stop the fear head having an effect, and also then she's able to revive these guys and all of that as well. So that's my teams, and we'll go through the stats as well if you like. And let's look at the rewards. So we got second place, and I got top chest for second place. So 100 prism shards, what a primal quartz. There's too many things. And the clan gold and clan rep and all that kind of thing is very good. Straight away, a legendary protection piece with speed is huge. No speed on this one, but it is accuracy, so grand. And really, actually that many protection banners is good, but unless they have speed, they're not my favorite. But anything, I've no stone skin there at all. I'm still happy with that. Any protection accessories is good. And then from the battles themselves, we got a whole, I'm not going to go through everything, guys, don't worry about that. I'm going to claim, and I'll go through it later, but I'm looking at this stuff here and the quantity, basically. So that's a good haul all around, and it really just bolsters your reserves of that equipment. And it's so important because protection is so important for speed. To get your fastest champions, you either need 5 pieces of protection and 5 and 2 sets, as in 4 pieces of speed or impulse, or 6 pieces of speed and impulse and 3 of protection. And that's the best way to get your highest speed. That's the highest mathematically possible way or combination of sets that you can have. Right, so let's look at the actual stats on those champions. So first up we have Razelvarg. We can see he's pretty much my best champion, I would say, or best built anyway. We can see he's built a 9-piece Slayer set at the moment there. And these are his stats. Very fast, gave up some of the more damagey stats for the higher speed. So 313 speed, 5.5k of attack, and nearly 300 crit damage there as well, with some accuracy too. So that's Razelvarg. Then we have Lydia. So Lydia is in as much protection as I can get. I think I'm going to be trying to get her into 9-piece for the damage bonus, which I don't think we're there yet, but we will be shortly. Still missing a ring for this faction. Maybe if I look at equipped, yeah, I'll be able to get her in, but I have Lanicus also in 9-piece, so trying to get her into, and I actually didn't use Lanicus this rotation. So that's her. She is at 262 speed because she fits into other speed tunes in a few places. Bit of resistance and high accuracy, and that's so she can get the debuffs on in all areas of the game. That's basically why I have her so high. Then after Lydia, who do we have? We have Uko, mighty Uko, and mighty indeed he is. He's in provoke set and some retaliation, no, not retaliation, revenge accessories and a bit of perception. His stats aren't incredible, but they are good for what he does, what I need him for. 235 speed and 413 accuracy are the important bits, with good survivability. Only a small blessing on him but it is Brimstone, and I think I switched that over to Brimstone so that we'd have it for Amius, and that's the only reason that's on there. Next up we have Vizix, the Unbowed, and I managed to get her into Relentless, which I do need to gear up as well. Everybody's in collection because I was pulling shards. Check out that video if you haven't. I was trying for Mr. Wednesday, good old One Eye, the Fae Father, Odin. So yeah, have her in Relentless here, and a shield set as well, but that's for Scarab when I use her on him. Just nearing the 250 mark, 242 speed. Survivability is important for her because she's going to be using her ally protection as well, and then a good bit of accuracy in 245. Then we have Mitrala, if we can find her. She is ever elusive. Mitrala we have in accuracy with perception, speed, and defiant. Decent accuracy. I don't actually have a good build on Mitrala overall. Her accuracy and resistance should be much higher for what she's used for, but for her job on Hydra, she does what I need her to do, and that's all I care about. So 251, 67,000, 4,124 defense, and that's it. She's not nuking or anything, and again, she's put in Brimstone, and that's because I was using it Amius, so it's not really important for here. And then after that, I think we're looking at good old Inquisitor Shamail, and this is the one for that team. He's in a mishmash of stuff, as you can see. 185 speed. I have him crit capped. He's actually way over the crit damage limit now with 250 crit damage and like 114 crit rate for some bizarre reason, and doesn't have much in the way of survivability. He is survivable on that team, has Phantom Touch as well, and has War Master. So I think that's that entire team. So that's my normal team, and I've used that full auto, no issues. Next, we're going to be looking at my hard team, which was, I have to say this week, a little bit cobbled together. But we start off with Coronar, who is a really, really underrated champion. Coronar is awesome. So Coronar is my provoker, and he also provides decreased attack. So very good champion on that. Very consistently provides to provoke as well. Not only does he place it, bypassing it on Poison Cloud and stuff like that, I also have him in the provoke set, so that whenever he counter attacks, which is a lot of the time, where is it there? Yeah, counter attacks when he's hit by enemies under decreased attack and decreased defense, he gets that out a lot. So it's very, very consistent at provoking on his own, so it's really strong. His stats are not incredible to reach, but I do have him also built as resistance tank. So I take back what I said there. These are pretty good stats, but I've sacrificed a lot of speed because he counterattacks a lot. So he is survivable, he has the resistance to be mischief tank, and he has the accuracy to place his debuffs. I could probably cut back on the accuracy a bit if you needed to. Speed is fine, everything else is fine. And the only reason probably his stats are that high is because of the blessing that he has. And on that blessing, I have cruelty to lower the defenses of the heads when they're up. So then we have Duchess Lilitu, and she is kind of arena-y built, but not extremely well arena-y built. But she is in 2-turn Stone Skin with Defiant, and she's at 100 and none of those are really important, to be honest, guys. The Defiant in Hydra gives a little bit of protection from AoE attacks, which she already has as well inbuilt into her set. The only reason she's there is for her revive and for her increased attack on for my damage dealers, and the perfect veil and block debuffs. The block debuffs, a lot of the time, if you're not consistently having a good mischief tank is actually more of a hindrance than anything else on Hydra, so watch out for that. So make sure you have a good mischief tank when using her. That's the build. 169 speed, survivable, doesn't need any accuracy or resistance really. She's there to keep everybody alive and provide those buffs. And her masteries, she's not even brought up to the top in masteries. I have neglected her. I got her late on the account, to be fair. Then we have Rathalos, who should be in a pretty decent build. 4-star blessing. Have him in mostly merciless. If I can get the last 2 pieces, I'll get a nice Brucey bonus that we can't look at the moment because it needs to be added to collection. But just over 200 speed and very good crit damage at 311, maxed crit rate, and 5,684 attack. So that probably does actually need to be rebalanced. This probably isn't statistically the right levels, but a good overall build, and he's booked out as well. Doesn't need any accuracy or anything like that because he is, when against bosses, they are irresistible. But even at that, he doesn't provide too many. Anyway, he's there for damage. He is not very survivable, and that's why I brought Duchess in. And then we have Chimesia. Chimesia is in lifesteal, a blast from the past for a lot of people I know. So not an incredible Chimesia build or anything like that, but I do love Chimesia, and that's because she provides AoE, HP burn, and decreased speed if you hit the enemies at the right time. That is not blocked by any poison cloud or anything like that, so it's very good. You also have a bit more decreased defense, and then you have a big nuke in this as well. So damage increases by 40% for each active HP burn debuff out there, and so you get you get 160% boost when you have the HP burn everywhere. And she's built for damage. Could probably put Helm Smasher maybe on there, but I'm happy enough with this build and how it's set. And the lifesteal is to keep her alive, especially when I'm not using Duchess or a Reviver. But one of my favorite champions, and probably needs to be given a bit more TLC by me. She's not crit capped, which I didn't realize actually, guys. So I've changed something in her build recently and changed things around, and 229 crit damage. So definitely need to revisit Chimesia for sure. And I'm not sure why or where or what changed, but I will investigate further. Could have had a lot more damage on that run. Then we have Eastrid providing our speed boost. Our speed boost and our decreased speed and increased speed, and also giving us the buff of the increased attack and all that as well, and a little tiny bit of healing off her passive. And that's all she's providing. It's all she's providing, but it is very important. 275 speed, a bit of survivability here. The crit damage doesn't matter at all, and accuracy enough to land the debuffs on the round that I was playing, which was hard. Then after that, to complement her, she provides weaken, and then to complement that, we need decreased defense. So Michinaki provides that, and he is bringing us the decreased defense and the hex that we need for this, and also decreased attack on the A2. Then looking at his stats, we see 233 speed, not quite crit capped. And I think the reason maybe him and Chimesia aren't is because I might have been running them on a team that buffed those anyway. So 242 crit damage, and survivable with enough accuracy to land buffs. He also strips buffs off all of the Hydra heads as well, so that is extremely important. And then for the blessing, I also have him in cruelty, and he's in the damage and accuracy masteries. He's also in relentless, and that's important for him. But you know, it's very good to get back around to strip debuffs or get hex or decreased defense back out there when needed. So I love that set on him, and that's my team for hard this week. Now for the final and nightmare team, we're looking at Nekmo Tar. So Nekmo is in pole position because he'll be running with a Shamail who will boost him and he'll boost everybody else, and he's in Hex set to provide that for my team. He's also in Temporal Chains, which provides a bit more speed differential to my team versus the Hydra heads, and he's given us decrease speed, decrease speed, increase speed, leech, and decrease attack, as well as the Hex, and also boosting his own turn meter and boosts everybody else. He is 250-ish, 251, bit of survivability, and enough accuracy to land all his buffs. Then we have Venus. So Venus we have built with loads of speed, and that's so she was getting in before some attackers as well in a different composition, but 296 speed, 489 accuracy, and some survivability. She's providing decreased defense, weaken, HP burn, a little bit of poison, and that's all in this. So she's no special sets or anything like that there. Her masteries are all up to the accuracy side of things, so would be providing more damage for Hydra if that was into not Helm Smasher, War Master. So that's her. Then this Shamail isn't even booked out, and he is given more survivability to the team as well. So he's in, as you can see, Guardian set, no speed at all, but he's our mischief tank for this team. So he's built with all of the resistance, and he's just there to provide a bit of survivability for the team. He'll boost everybody's turn meter by boosting Nekmo Tar and deal with the Fearhead, and he'll also then double up and give us resistance for the resistance, or the mischief tank. So that's his role, and he does it well in this composition. Then we have Lazarius. Lazarius is an awesome champion, but most people think of Arena when they think of Lazarius, but actually in his Form 1, Lazarius is excellent because he provides a shield for the champion with the lowest HP. On his A2, he strips buffs off the Hydra heads and also places a block debuffs on your team and a block buffs on the enemy team. Sorry, I said he strips, but he actually doesn't strip. He decreases the duration of all buffs by 2 turns. So it usually has the same effect, but not always, so just watch out for that. And then finally, he fills turn meter by 20%, decreases as well, but doesn't matter against Hydra, and also provides increased attack and strengthen on all allies for 2 turns. The passive effect is very good as well. If you can keep him alive, he will revive somebody every 3 turns. So that's very, very good because I don't have a reviver on that team. But also at the start of his turn, he places a Veil and a 50% increase accuracy buff on him for 2 turns, and he receives 3% less damage for every 750 attack he has. So you can build him for Arena and he'll still be reasonably survivable because he's going to get a 30% off reduction in damage if you have him built up to his to that attack stat. So 7,500. Now for our last 2 champions, we have Krisk. So Krisk is the mischief tank on this team as well. We're duoing it. He's built 244 speed, 496 res, and 385 accuracy, and survivable. He's providing our ally attack and buff extension as well. So he's not in any particular set, although he has 4 pieces of protection, masteries up to resistance. So we would be getting more out of him damage wise if that was up into War Master. And then finally, we have our pièce de résistance, which is Whisper, who is very, very good, and she's in Relentless. Could probably put her in Merciless if you were able to get enough pieces. because she'd be very good in that, and that also gives extra turns. She's all the damage pretty much is coming from Whisper. She has 6,176 attack. She is not crit rate capped, because she provides her own buff. Now, this works better if you have somebody else providing it as well. It'll give you better coverage, but this is nice anyway, and it allows you to build more crit damage and more other stats around the place as well. Now, she has some accuracy because she can supply some debuffs, but not a huge amount, and it's not important. So if you have to sacrifice something, that can definitely be it. So that is my teams for the week. Sorry, just to mention, Crushing Rend, 6-star blessing. So she's ignoring a lot of defense. She ignores it on her A2 anyway, but then is if you can ignore more with Crushing Rend and with Helm Smasher, and then area bonuses and stuff like that, that's the way to go, and she will absolutely slaughter for you. So that's the teams, that's everything, guys. If you need any more information on anything there, just leave me a comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.